In this video, you're about to uncover 10 raw, gut-punching truths that the rich get and the poor just don't. Buckle up. Sarcasm, faith, and some uncomfortable realities are gonna hit you right in the chest. But if you stick around till the end, you'll see prosperity in a way no one's ever laid out for you. This isn't about chasing cash, it's about breaking free from the herd mentality. You ready to step out of the pack? Truth number 1. The herd never gets rich. Why? Following the crowd is a recipe for failure. If you're following the crowd in how you think, talk, and act about money, brace yourself for the same results as the masses: tight budgets, fear of the future, and decisions driven by panic. The herd has an invisible playbook: parrot headlines, gripe about the government, buy on impulse, work without a plan, and call it real life. The rich? They don't play that game. They write better rules and live by them. Florence Scovel Shinn nailed it. It's not your job to force doors open. It's your job to stay in the right mindset until the doors swing wide. In other words, what sets you apart from the herd isn't arrogance, it's awareness. The Bible called it out long ago. Do not follow the crowd in doing wrong. Exodus 23:2. It might not seem wrong to chase trends, mimic beliefs, or lean on excuses, but the outcome's the same. You drift from your purpose, spend what you don't have, and bury your talents out of fear. Matthew 25. Those who live for approval die in mediocrity. Look around. The paycheck crowd gets paid and spends it the same day. They grumble everything's too expensive while wasting hours chasing deals that keep them broke. Everyone craves security, but no one wants responsibility. Meanwhile, those who thrive choose to think independently, speak with purpose, and act with strategy. Proverbs 13:20 sums it up: walk with the wise and become wise, for a companion of fools suffers harm. The herd's loud, wisdom's picky. Want a quick reality check? Pay attention to the phrases you repeat without thinking. Everything's so tough these days. The rich just got lucky. I'll invest when I have something left over. That's herd talk. Florence Scovel Shinn would put it simply: your word is your wand. What you say shapes your reality. The rich program opportunities. The masses program obstacles. And yes, biblical spirituality doesn't vilify prosperity. It condemns greed. 1 Timothy 6:10. While promising abundance to those who seek the kingdom and righteousness. Matthew 6:33. Thriving with principles isn't a sin. It's a result. Breaking from the herd takes gritty courage to embrace the discomfort of going against the grain. You'll hear it's extreme to save 20% of everything you earn, cold to say no to pricey outings, or risky to start a side hustle. Harsh truth: staying the same is riskier. The gate is narrow, Matthew 7:14, because hardly anyone's willing to pay the price of discipline. But on the other side, a life the herd will never know. Freedom. Now, let's break it down step by step, with clear, actionable ways to step out of the line and take charge. 1. Think differently from the herd. Awareness. Swap autopilot for uncommon questions. What's the truth here that almost no one sees? If I couldn't complain, what would I do? What valuable skill can I build in the next 90 days? Affirm daily: my mind is aligned with the divine mind. Ideas bear fruit in my hands. Rooted in Romans 12:2 for renewal. Practical goal: 30 minutes of intentional study every day. Finance, sales, communication, tech. Without it, you're back grazing with the herd.
2. Speak differently from the herd. Declarations: stop narrating lack. Say, a path of provision is opening now. I sell with grace and receive with honor. The Lord establishes the work of my hands. Psalm 90:17. Swap it won't work for what's the next best move. Florence said it: never make a negative statement about yourself. Without realizing, the masses curse their own income with self-sabotaging humor. You speak your future or your ruin. 3rd, act differently from the herd. Method: the herd scrambles, you build. Practical rule: 1. Main income source plus 2. Leverage project marketable skill +3. Automatic investing. Enforce a 24-hour delay on non-essential purchases. Try a 30-day opinion fast. No one needs to know your plans until they're reality. Nehemiah rebuilt the walls in silence. Nehemiah 2. Quiet discipline outshines noisy haste. 4. Receive differently from the herd. Acceptance and protection. When the harvest comes, don't apologize for thriving. Receive with gratitude. Blessed be the Lord, for all wealth comes from him. 1 Chronicles 29:12. Guard against envy. Less posting, more purpose. Reinvest, don't flaunt. Florence would call this non-resistance, letting good arrive without sabotaging it with guilt. If this sparked something in you, comment, "I'm breaking from the herd." Your public declaration is the first cut to the ties that bind you. Want truth number 2? Then stick around. Most quit here. You're not most. Truth number 2, critical thinking, the secret weapon of those who escape mediocrity. The masses would rather accept everything blindly. It's easier to parrot ready-made phrases, blame the system, or justify stagnation. But let's be real. If you're on autopilot, you'll only end up where the crowd is, nowhere. Thinking critically is how you break from the herd, training your mind to not swallow everything as truth. Florence Scovel Shinn said it best. Imagination is the scissors of the mind. It cuts, shapes, and molds. In other words, if you don't trim the mental garbage society dumps on you, it'll pile up and define your limits. The Bible backs this up in 1 Thessalonians 5:21. Test everything, hold on to what is good. Critical thinking isn't arrogance, it's spiritual obedience, separating the wheat from the chaff. While the herd worships opinions and follows gurus without checking their track record, those who think critically act differently. They weigh evidence, test assumptions, and rewire beliefs. Florence teaches that your word creates, and when your words stem from consciously chosen, questioned beliefs, they carry the power of spiritual decree. Now, how do you apply this in real life? Here are the practical steps. First challenge: automatic narratives, awareness. Write down 3 beliefs you've inherited about money or success. Ask yourself, does this belief bear fruit or hold me back? Look for counterexamples. Florence always reminded us, nothing is impossible to those who believe. So if a belief says it's impossible, you know what to do. Toss it. 2. Declare with precision, conscious decrees. Ditch vague phrases for bold commands. Instead of, "I'll try to save," say, "I align with abundance and manage my money with wisdom." This blends practical clarity with spiritual power. Florence put it perfectly. Your word is your magic wand. Wield it to decree change. Third experiment, don't assume method. Don't get fooled by guesswork. Test ideas on a small scale. Want to validate a product? Build a cheap prototype. Want to invest? Start with 5% of your income. Want to learn something? Apply it in a mini project. Jesus said, "By their fruit you will know them." Matthew 7:16. Florence would add, dreaming isn't enough. You've got to prove it in the real world. 4. Guard your mind, selective sowing. If your mind is soil, filter what gets planted. Stop running your life on bad news and gossip. Instead, feed it words that build, the Bible, Florence's teachings, biographies of barrier breakers. Pray and declare, "Lord, fill me with discernment." Psalm 119:66. Weekly challenge. For 7 days, write down 1 belief about money. Confront it with a Bible verse or a Florence quote and replace it with a positive decree. By the end, notice how your mental filter has shifted. If this hits home, comment below. What limiting belief are you tackling this week? Like this video if you're going to practice, and subscribe to catch the next ones. Critical thinking isn't some fancy intellectual luxury. It's a spiritual tool to break free from the herd. Florence and the Bible say it loud and clear. Don't just accept everything. Question, declare, test, and you'll find that true freedom starts in your mind. Truth number 3, the invisible power of words. Florence warned, the Bible confirms. Words aren't just decoration. They're not side comments as you coast through life. Words create worlds. Florence Scovel Shinn said it plainly, your word is your wand. The Bible echoes, death and life are in the power of the tongue. Proverbs 18:21. In other words, what you speak is tied to what you live. Getting this is the start of freedom and prosperity. No more romanticizing pretty talk without action. Those who badmouth their own future declare limitation. Those who speak as heirs and act like it open doors. Florence taught that word plus faith plus action is a working formula. Below, the practical breakdown, step by step, for you to apply today. 1. Awareness. Guard the language in your head. Before you speak, sort your thoughts. Most people repeat inherited narratives. It won't work. It's too hard. I'm not enough. Florence warned, those words are seeds planted in the wrong soil. Practical exercise. For 3 days, jot down every negative thought about money or success. When one pops up, immediately replace it with a specific opposite affirmation, e.g., I have income opportunities now. Read Proverbs 23:7 and recognize that your mind shapes your reality. This builds awareness, and awareness is your first line of defense. 2. Decrees. Speak with intention, not complaints. This isn't about chanting empty mantras. It's about commanding your life with words aligned with divine truth. Florence said, never make a negative statement about yourself. Practical decree examples. Say them out loud with faith twice a day. I'm receiving open doors and multiplied provision now. My ideas attract clients and resources. Anchor in Mark 11:24. Declare believing. Avoid I hope or if God wills as excuses for indecision. Instead say, thank God it's already in motion. Your language shifts your vibration, and vibration moves circumstances. Third method, align words with deliberate action. Words alone are promises without delivery. Action without faith is a race with no finish line. Florence taught that words create the invisible, and action brings it to life. Practical method, for every decree, take 3 concrete actions that week to back it up. Example, decree, clients are coming. Actions, 1. Send 10 proposals. 2. Share 1 valuable piece of content. 3. Connect with 3 potential partners. Rule 1. Every affirmation needs an operation. Rule 2. Measure results in 14 days. This turns words into a system, avoiding empty prayers or footless dreams. 4. Receive and protect. Accept without guilt, guard with wisdom. When the answer arrives, embrace it without shame. The Bible doesn't ask you to hide your fruit, but to manage it well. Florence insisted on not resisting the good. Receive with gratitude and discipline. Practical step. When extra income comes, follow this rule. 50% reinvest, save. 30% pay essential debts. 20% celebrate wisely. Less posting, more preserving. Final declaration. Thank you, Lord, for the good that finds me, and I use it with wisdom. 1 Chronicles 29:12 as a foundation for gratitude. If you apply these 4 steps, guard your mind, decree with intention, act with method, and receive with protection, your words stop being noise and become a structuring tool. Florence Scovel Shinn and the Scriptures don't offer empty mysticism. They deliver spiritual discipline. Speak as if it's already done. Act with purpose and accept with responsibility. Practical challenge. Pick one decree today, e.g., I'm receiving X clients this month. Write down 3 concrete actions to back it up and declare it out loud now. Comment below. What decree did you speak today? Your comment is your first public act of change. Do it and break from the herd. Truth number 4, conscious risk versus paralyzing fear. Only the brave thrive. The crowd loves the safety of the couch. Worse, they call fear prudence and pat themselves on the back for playing it safe. The result? Same bank account, same frustration, same old story. Meanwhile, the wealthy get it. Thriving demands calculated action, not reckless, but bold. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that faith and action go hand in hand. Faith without action is dead. Action without faith is hollow. The Bible backs this up, urging courage. Be strong and courageous, Joshua 1:9, and pushing us to cast our seeds upon the waters, Ecclesiastes 11:1. In other words, take risks, diversify, don't freeze. The real difference between conscious risk and paralyzing fear. One has a method, the other has excuses. Here's a no-nonsense step-by-step guide, 1 through 4, to put this into action today. No fluff. Step 1. Face the risk, don't dodge it. Stop mistaking fear for wisdom. Ask yourself hard-hitting questions. What's the worst-case scenario that's actually realistic? How much could I lose if it flops? And what's the payoff if it works? Florence would say your mind is fertile ground. Plant questions that spark clarity, not panic. Do this now. For any idea, jot down the worst case and best case in one line, not based on feelings but on measurable outcomes or numbers. If the worst case is manageable, the risk is worth taking. If not, rethink it. Read Joshua 1:9 and decide. Prudent courage is faith in motion, not ignorance. Step 2. Speak with measured courage. Smart decrees. Believing isn't enough. Declare with precision. Swap. I hope it works out, for I'm taking X steps to achieve Y in Z days. Florence Scovel Shinn said words create, so shift your inner dialogue. Replace I'm scared with I'm preparing. Practical examples of declarations. I'm testing this with 5% of my capital and learning from the data. I'm embracing temporary discomfort because it's the path to freedom. Speaking this way shifts your mindset and attracts real resources, partnerships, referrals, because people respond to organized conviction. Step 3. Act with a calculated risk method. Conscious risk has a structure. Hypothesis plus minimal test plus metric plus deadline. Follow the rule of 3 pillars. 1. Small initial risk, 1 to 5% of capital, 1 to 2 hours daily. 2. Clear metric, conversions, leads, sales. 3. Short timeline, 7 to 30 days, for validation. Example, want to test a new service. Offer it to 3 clients at a discount for 2 weeks, then measure satisfaction and referrals. If it works, scale up. If it flops, adjust without drama. Failure is data, not a death sentence. Florence would say, act like you've got divine clearance, but do it with a plan. Step 4. Receive and protect. When it works, guard and learn. Don't make the classic mistake, landing a deal and spending it like it's a steady paycheck. Receive with gratitude, Psalm 1 Chronicles, and discipline. Practical move. On your first win from the risk, allocate 50% to reinvest or scale, 30% to shore up vulnerabilities, debts, savings, and 20% for a balanced reward. Protect yourself from envy and noise. Less posting, more planning. Florence would call this not resisting the good. Let success grow, but manage it wisely. Real-world example. Joseph interpreted dreams and organized supplies before famine hit. Calculated risk brought power. Today, conscious risk is planning for years to seize a window of opportunity. Paralyzing fear is never preparing because What if? Which path will you choose? Practical challenge. This week, pick one idea you've been avoiding out of fear. Run the worst best case exercise. Step 1. Make a clear declaration. Step 2. Launch a minimal test. Step 3. And set up a financial protection plan. Step 4. Drop a comment. What calculated risk will you test in the next 7 days? Going public with your answer is your first step toward real action. If this resonates, give it a like and follow, because courage without a method is just noise. Courage with a method builds a legacy. Truth number 5, self-discipline, the richest muscle you can train. Self-discipline sounds boring if you're hooked on romantic excuses. I'm creative, not disciplined, is just the grown-up version of I hate school. The result? A drained bank account and pretty justifications. The truth is simple and brutal. Discipline is the invisible engine that turns intention into wealth. Florence Scovel Shinn said faith without form dies in desire. Discipline gives shape to the unseen. The Bible nails it too. A person without self-control is like a city broken into and left without walls. Proverbs 25:28. No walls and everything floods in. Debt, distractions, regret. Self-discipline isn't masochism, it's strategy. It's training small habits until your entire life aligns with your goals on autopilot. Here's how to do it, step by step, from 1 to 4. No fluffy theory, just action. Step 1. Know where you lose control. Before you can be disciplined, figure out where you're slipping. Do a 7-day audit. Track every time you give in to an impulse. Spending, distractions, procrastination. How many hours are you losing to social media? How much are you spending on a whim? Florence would say, plant awareness. You can only cultivate the soil once you know what's growing in it. Do this now. Keep a notebook or phone note and log every slip-up, amount, trigger, boredom, stress, comparison, and how you felt after. This inventory is gold. It reveals patterns, not opinions. Step 2. Commit publicly with disciplined decrees. Saying, I'll change, is shallow. Declare with precision and out loud. I'm saving 20% of my income every month, or I'm working 90 minutes of focused time every morning before touching my phone. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that words create. Use them to sign a contract with yourself. Pair it with a grounding verse, like self-control, Galatians 5:22-23, and turn your promise into a pact. Do this. Write your decree and read it every morning for 30 days. Step 3. Act with micro habits and a laziness-proof system. Discipline comes from routine, not willpower. Build a practical plan. First 10 sacred minutes, short prayer. Plus, set your day's intention. Review your top task. 2-minute rule. If it takes less than 2 minutes, clearing emails, quick call, do it now. Focus. Blocks, 90 minutes of deep work, plus 15-minute break, extended Pomodoro. Financial rule, automate. 20% to savings investment, 30% to obligations, 50% to live and grow. Florence would stress, repetition builds the invisible soil where miracles sprout. Keep at it until resistance fades. Step 4, receive and protect, reward. Wisely guard your gains. Discipline without reward feels like punishment. Reward without protection becomes frivolous. When you hit a milestone, celebrate, but with boundaries. 10 to 20% of the win for celebration, the rest to solidify gains. Guard against pride and showing off. Florence would call this not resisting the good. Welcome the blessing, but manage it with care. Do this. When you get an unexpected win, apply the 50-30-20 rule and hold off on social media posts. For 30 days, less exposure equals less envy and less pressure to overspend. Discipline is a muscle you strengthen with daily reps. It turns promises into wealth and dreams into profitable routines. Nobody's born with a stockpile of discipline. It's built through small vows kept 1,000 times. Quick challenge for the next 7 days. Pick one micro habit, e.g., 30 minutes of study, 20% automatic savings, 90 minutes of morning focus, and stick to it without fail. Comment below with your chosen habit. Going public boosts your odds of success. If this hit you right in your comfort zone, drop a like and follow. Most people will slip back into the excuse zone. You're choosing to train the muscle of wealth. Truth number 6. Environment shapes destiny. Get out of the bankrupt circle before it's too late. You can have strategy, faith, and courage, but if your routine, friendships, and information sources drag you down, they'll neutralize everything. Your environment is like soil. Plant garbage, reap scarcity. Plant discipline and vision, harvest growth. Florence Scovel Shinn put it bluntly, don't let the noise of your surroundings define you. Keep your mind fixed on the true word. Scripture backs it up. Walk with the wise and become wise, for a companion of fools suffers harm. Proverbs 13:20. In short, your circle determines your path. This isn't just feel-good talk, it's social physics. Here's a no-nonsense step-by-step plan, 1 to 4, to overhaul your environment and let prosperity take root in your daily life. Step 1. Map and expose the toxins in your circle. Do a 7-day audit. Track every interaction that drains you. People, WhatsApp groups, TV shows, endless scrolling. For each, note time spent, feelings triggered, fear, comparison, anger, and practical impact, spending, procrastination. Goal: identify your top 3 sources of mental or financial pollution. Immediate action: cut exposure to these by 50% over the next 7 days. If it's a group chat full of complaints and spending prompts, mute it. If it's a news channel fueling panic, cap it at 10 minutes a day. Florence would call this tending a clean field. You only plant where you want to harvest. Step 2. Declare the environment. You want to attract words, shape your reality. Don't wait for your environment to change. Call it into being. Daily decrees, say them out loud when you wake up. I attract people who lift me up and challenge me. My professional circle pushes me to create value. Pair them with verses about wise company, Proverbs 27:17, and repeat. Florence taught that words and imagination shape reality. Use these decrees to draw in invitations, mentors, and partnerships. Post less "I want" and say more "I'm building." Networks respond to conviction. Step 3. Reconfigure your environment in 30, 60, 90 days. A practical, scalable plan, 30 days. Digital and physical cleanup. Mute or leave 3 useless groups. Subscribe to 2 high-quality newsletters. Organize your workspace. Less clutter equals more focus. 60 days. Expand your circle. Attend 2 professional events. Invite 1 inspiring person for coffee. Swap 3 hours of weekly entertainment for applied study. 90 days. Build value circles. Join or create a monthly mastermind. Offer value, a skill, a referral. Establish weekly networking rituals. Simple rule: for every hour you cut from toxic exposure, replace it with 30 to 60 minutes of growth actions. Study, prospecting, mentor conversations. This reshapes your environment by design, not wishful thinking. Step 4. Receive and protect. Manage your new harvest. Wisely, when your environment shifts and doors open, receive with gratitude and restraint. Immediate actions, private-public gratitude. Thank God and those who helped you. 1 Chronicles 29:12. This strengthens alliances. Practical protection. Don't flaunt gains too soon. Focus on consolidating before showing off. Relational reinvestment. Use part of your wins to nurture your circle. Host a dinner, fund a group course, or hire a consultant. Florence would say, don't resist the good, embrace it and manage it wisely. This shields you from envy and keeps your soil fertile. Practical challenge. Comment below with the 3 most toxic sources in your environment and pick one action, mute, leave, replace, to apply today. I guarantee changing your circle feels messy at first. People will complain, but it's the first real step to breaking free from the cycle of broke. If this plan clicks, hit like and follow. In the next posts, I'll show you how to turn these new connections into a steady stream of opportunities. Truth number 7. Prosperity begins in the mind. Abundance is a decision, not an accident. Most people chase wealth like it's a lottery ticket, waiting for some external event while missing that riches stem from a series of internal decisions. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that your mind is the shipyard of your life. What you hold in your mind, you draw into your experience. The Bible confirms, do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Romans 12.2. In short, before you chase money out there, check what you're allowing in here. To get practical, abundance doesn't fall from the sky, it responds to a deliberate mental stance. Here's the no-fluff plan, steps 1 to 4, with actions you can start today. Step 1, observe the mental map guiding your choices. Do a 7-day inventory. Jot down automatic thoughts about money, e.g., I can't afford it, that's for rich people, better play it safe. Then label each thought, fruitful, builds, or sabotaging, destroys. Florence would say your mind is a field. You've got to pull the weeds before planting wheat. Do this now, every morning. Write one financial belief you want to replace. By week's end, you'll have a map of your limitations, ready to tackle. Step 2. Turn thoughts into conscious decrees. Words bridge the invisible and the visible. Florence said, your word is your wand. Instead of muttering doubts, declare specific intentions. I manage and multiply the resources I receive. Financial doors open for my ideas. Use this formula, one short sentence 2 times a day, with feeling. Pair it with an anchor verse, e.g., ask and it will be given to you, Luke 11:9. The goal is to rewire your inner language to command, not question. Step 3. Align mindset with a repeatable system. A mind without action is just fantasy. Florence taught dreaming and doing are partners. Build a simple cycle, mental 5 minutes of visualization and decree reading. Practical 3 daily actions to back the decree, prospecting, creating, studying. Measurement, weekly log of results. Golden rule, every decree needs 3 concrete proofs per week, or it's just wishful thinking. Example, decreed, clients find me. Act, post content, send 10 proposals, ask 3 contacts for referrals. Check results in 14 days. Adjust or scale. Step 4. Receive and protect. Embrace and govern the harvest. When abundance knocks, don't sabotage it with guilt or showing off. Florence advised receiving with gratitude and using it wisely. Do this. When extra income hits, apply the 50-30-20 rule. 50% reinvest or scale. 30% protect savings, 20% reward. Declare, thank you, Lord, for the good that finds me, and I manage it well. 1 Chronicles 29:12 for gratitude and stewardship. Protect yourself from overexposure. Less posting, more planning. Practical summary. Spot limiting beliefs. 1. Shape your words with precise decrees. 2. Test those decrees with measurable actions. 3. And when the harvest comes, receive it with discipline and reinvest. 4. Prosperity isn't luck. It's the result of an intentional mental process. Your turn, comment below. What limiting financial belief did you spot today, and what decree will you use to replace it? Going public is your first step toward transformation. If this resonates, hit like and follow. We're heading to truth number 8, where we'll turn mindset into real assets. Truth number 8, investing in real value. Why assets enrich and appearances destroy. Chasing status is a flashy moment. Building wealth is quiet work that pays off for years. The herd mistakes having for being and measures success by the storefront. Meanwhile, those who build wealth know assets produce, while showboating consumes. Florence Scovel Shinn taught, "There is no lack in the divine mind, but warned you must use what you receive wisely." The Bible laid it out ages ago. The parable of the talents, Matthew 25, shows that burying your gifts out of fear loses even the little you have. Multiplying them earns honor. And Proverbs 21:20 nails it. The wise store up choice food and olive oil, but fools gulp theirs down. Simple as that. Here's the practical plan. Steps 1 to 4 for action today. No fluff. Step 1, identify assets versus fantasies. Do a no-nonsense inventory. List your expenses from the last 90 days and label each as an asset. Generates income, cuts costs, appreciates. Or appearance, decays, no return. Examples: a course that boosts your income equals asset. An expensive watch for photos equals appearance. Florence would say, watch the language you use about spending. If I deserve it is your go-to red flag. Do this. Cut 3 appearance-based expenses this week and redirect that money to an asset, a course, investment, or working capital. Step 2. Declare you buy assets, not status words. Shape your focus. Swap "I want a new car" for "I want an asset that builds freedom," and say it daily. Use specific decrees. I invest 10% of my income in productive assets every month. My financial choices uplift my family. Florence said, "Your word is your wand. Speak to build habits, not mask desires." The Bible backs it. Whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with much. Luke 16:10. Start small, speak boldly. Step 3. Action method. A practical system to turn intention into wealth. Implement a simple, repeatable plan. Rule of 3 for 90 days. 1. Build an emergency fund, 3 months' expenses. 2. Set up automatic investments, 5 to 15% of income via auto debit. 3. Boost earning power. Take a course or mentorship to increase revenue. 24-90 rule. Wait 24 hours before impulse buys over $200. Test a business idea for 90 days before scaling. Diversify. Don't bet everything on one asset. Mix education, financial assets, ETFs, LCI, LCA, and a cash flow project, digital product service. Florence would stress ritual repetition. Discipline turns seeds into harvests. Measuring is non-negotiable. Track simple metrics: return, acquisition cost, time spent. They're the oxygen of smart investing. Step 4, receive and protect. Manage returns like a steward. When an asset pays off, don't celebrate by showing off. Manage it. Do this. Allocate 50% to scale the asset, 30% to reserves or clearing vulnerabilities, and 20% to a controlled reward. Protect gains with structure, contracts, a legal entity if needed, insurance, and accounting guidance. Florence would advise, don't resist the good, receive with gratitude, and the Bible confirms, the blessing of the Lord brings wealth without painful toil. Proverbs 10:22. Skip the flaunting, less posting, more planning. Reinvest to build passive income that frees you from trading hours for dollars. Practical challenge today. Pick one appearance-based expense you planned this month and turn it into an asset goal. For example, Instead of spending $1,000 on cosmetic fixes, invest $1,000 in a practical course. Comment below, what asset will you start buying instead of chasing status? Going public is your first act of change. If this truth hit home, hit like and follow. Learning to choose assets is how you break free from the herd. Truth number 9. Gratitude in advance. Celebrating in advance is the hidden code of manifestation. Gratitude as a magnet for manifestation. Most people wait for the blessing before giving thanks, stuck in eternal waiting mode. Those who understand the spiritual law of manifestation flip the script. They thank first, and that summons the universe's response. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that gratitude is a magnet. It's not superstition, it's mechanics. Thanking in advance opens the flow and shifts your posture to receive. The Bible agrees. Give thanks in all circumstances. 1 Thessalonians 5:18. And Jesus gave thanks before multiplying the loaves. John 6:11. Anticipatory gratitude isn't magic, it's faith in action. Here's a practical step-by-step plan, 1 to 4, to turn gratitude into a tool for manifestation. Step 1. Identify what blocks your gratitude for 3 days. Track the inner voices that stop you from being grateful. Guilt for wanting prosperity. Fear of seeming boastful. Feelings of unworthiness. Note the moment, trigger, and phrase that pops up. I don't deserve it. What if I lose it? Florence would call these voices of old habits. Do this. Each time one surfaces, write a short counterstatement, e.g., I deserve provision and manage it well. This inventory pulls gratitude from the abstract and puts it under conscious control. Step 2. Decrees of anticipatory gratitude. With precision, replace I hope with firm words. Instead of I hope I get clients, declare I'm grateful for X new clients already on their way. Keep it short, specific, and in the present tense. Florence said words are tools. Use them to program your day. Pair your decree with an anchor verse, e.g., Mark 11:24, believe you have received. Say your decree out loud twice when you wake up and twice before bed for 21 days. Step 3. Action method. Ritualize and practice. Anticipatory gratitude. True gratitude requires action. For each decree, take 3 steps to support manifestation. List 3 concrete actions tied to your decree, e.g., send proposals, post content, reach out to potential partners. Perform a weekly act of faith, a small donation, a free value offer, or a gesture of service to signal to the universe that you're not just asking, you're already contributing. Track signs. Log every coincidence or contact that seems to respond to your gratitude. Keep a simple journal. Date, small win, feeling. Florence would emphasize, ritual repetition turns belief into habit and habit into evidence. Step 4. Receive and protect. Embrace without guilt, manage wisely. When the harvest arrives, accept it without apology and protect the outcome. Do this. Apply a simple financial rule for expected gains. 50% reinvest, 30% to reserves or debt payoff, 20% for restrained celebration. Gratitude isn't flaunting, it's stewardship with heart. The Bible calls for gratitude and wise management. 1 Chronicles 29:12. Florence warns that resisting the good is a spiritual mistake. Avoid posting sudden wins. Focus on giving thanks and planning. Practical challenge, 24 hours. Write a specific anticipatory gratitude decree today, e.g., I'm thankful for X sales this month. Say it out loud. Take at least one supporting action within 24 hours, and note any signs of response. Comment below with your decree. Sharing it publicly is a small vow that amplifies commitment and accountability. If this truth stirred you, drop a subtle like and follow for the next truths to break you out of the herd. Truth number 10, higher purpose. Wealth is a consequence, not an end goal. Most people chase wealth as an end game, hoarding to prove something, show off, or fill a void. The result? Lots of money, little peace. Those who truly prosper know wealth is a tool, not a destination. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that life responds to the direction of your soul. When your intention is to serve and fulfill a greater purpose, the universe aligns. The Bible sums it up clearly. Seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added to you. Matthew 6:33. In other words, prioritize the eternal and the temporal follows. Here's a no-nonsense plan, steps 1 to 4, to put this into action. Step 1. Find and name your purpose. Before any financial plan, clarify why you want money. Ask yourself, what's it for? What problem am I solving? How does my prosperity serve others? Do this. Write a clear one-line purpose statement, e.g., provide security and education for my family, or create services that empower small producers. Florence would say, keep your imagination tied to a pure purpose. A mind that knows why attracts the how. Immediate action. Spend 30 minutes today defining your purpose and share it with a trusted confidant. Public commitment builds accountability. Step 2, declare your mission, not just money swap. Empty money goals for mission-driven decrees. Instead of, I want to earn X dollars, say, I'm working to impact X lives by date. Florence called words your wand. Use them to summon direction. The Bible backs this. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. Matthew 6:21. Declaring a mission aligns your desires with your heart, keeping money from becoming the end game. Step 3. Action method. Design wealth as a tool for impact. Build a 90-day plan to turn your purpose into a product, service, or income stream. Value offer. Create a service or product that solves the problem tied to your purpose. Impact metric. How many lives or problems will you address monthly? Set a measurable goal. Financial flow. Divide profits into thirds. 1/3 to reinvest in the purpose, 1/3 for reserves, 1/3 for living and giving. Example, if your purpose is education, launch a pilot course. If it's feeding others, test a social delivery service. Florence would say, action aligned with your words creates visible results. Project plus purpose equals harvest.
Step 4. Receive and protect. Steward prosperity with purpose. When wealth arrives, accept it without guilt and manage it like you're answering to a higher calling. Practical steps. Separate project/personal finances, build an emergency reserve, allocate a fixed percentage to philanthropy, even if small, and formalize legal protections, contracts, insurance, a will. Florence and the Bible agree. Well-managed wealth amplifies your mission. Poorly managed wealth erodes your purpose. If your wealth doesn't serve a greater good, it's hollow. Align your intention, words, and actions with a purpose beyond yourself, and financial results will flow naturally, with peace. Neither Florence nor Scripture promises automatic riches. They promise provision for those who focus their lives on what matters. What's your life's purpose? Write it below. Declaring it publicly is your first act of stewardship. If this chapter hit home, drop a like. Follow for more truths that pull you out of the herd. See you in the next video.